let's talk about how to stop being stressed. Now, I got to give you guys an example. A few weeks ago, I was scheduled to speak for an event here at our office. This was Entree Leadership Summit. It was a very big, fancy, important, awesome event. Okay, we'd done everything in the planning to make sure it was going to go perfectly, even in this crazy year. But on the very first day of the event, y'all, I woke up and I was just feeling weird. Like I had a little bit of allergy stuff going on and started to feel like my chest was maybe a little bit tight. And so I did exactly what you always should never, ever, ever do when you have symptoms. I Googled it, right? Googled these symptoms. Are these a symptom of coronavirus? Yeah. They are, which by the way, if you haven't Googled symptoms of coronavirus, like everything is a symptom of coronavirus. A broken arm is a symptom of coronavirus. So you start to Google symptoms of coronavirus. I have some of those symptoms. I convinced myself that I have coronavirus in the week of the most important big event that we do here at our office. And y'all, I started to panic. My chest got tighter. My breathing got more shallow. My stomach started to turn into knots. I started to feel sick and upset. And then it just reaffirmed, it is coronavirus. It definitely is coronavirus because an upset stomach and nausea and a tight chest and shallow breathing, all those are symptoms. Y'all, what happened was I literally got myself so worked up. I had myself convinced I had coronavirus. And it all started with a little bit of allergy drainage that morning. Once I started to calm myself down, once I started to work myself through this anxiety and get my bearings and start to discern the difference between freaking out and COVID-19, I realized I don't have coronavirus. Immediately, my breathing was more calm, my shoulders were more relaxed, my stomach settled, everything calmed down, and I knew it was just anxiety. Believe it or not, when I Googled, is this anxiety or coronavirus, there were a lot of results because a lot of people were struggling with that. I had myself convinced I was sick with COVID-19 when I wasn't. I was just anxious. You know what? When we start to feel this anxiety creeping up, which can happen for a variety of reasons. Maybe it's not an event you're going to. Maybe it's your kids going back to school. Maybe it's a big deadline coming up at work. Maybe it's just a relational issue that is stressing you out. Your body will have a physiological response to that stress. Your breathing will get shallowed. Your chest will get tight. Your body will start to respond to how you're feeling. But the good news is, even though you can't totally control your environment, you can't totally control your relationships or your kids going back to school or all the external stressors in your life, we know this year more than ever, we can't control a lot of things that we want to control and wish we could control. But you can still calm your nerves in spite of it. There are still things that you can do to relieve your stress, remove your anxiety, calm yourself down. All right, so I have a list for you of 7 ideas to help you relieve your stress. They're in no particular order, and you don't have to do all of them. They're just 7 ideas that work for me, and I bet they'll work for you as well. Number 1, breathe. I know that sounds so simple, but when we're nervous, our breathing gets shallow, and it becomes worse and worse. Stop and choose to control your breath. There was one particular day just a few weeks ago where I had woken up and was watching the news, and the news was, of course, stress-inducing, and I found myself getting nervous. I was in the kitchen, and I was preparing breakfast for my kids, and I found myself just feeling panicky. And I stopped, I put my hands on the kitchen counter, and I just took some deep breaths. You can do this over and over again. Take a deep inhale, a deep exhale, and continue to train your breathing and train your body to calm down. Of course, it's not a perfect fix-all, but it's one thing you can control that will help you relieve your stress. So the first thing you can do to calm your nerves is to breathe. The second thing you can do, a second idea, is to read. Read your Bible. Read a good book. Read something positive and hopeful. I love the verse in the Bible where it talks about whatever's true, whatever's right, whatever's excellent or praiseworthy. Think about such things. Well, you can read those things. If your mind is running off the rails, you can read things to put good things in your mind. It's training your focus and changing your thought pattern to what is good, what is true, what is hopeful, what is peaceful, what is right. Reading can really help you calm your nerves, especially if you're reading something really, really good and hopeful. The third thing that you can do to help you calm your nerves is to help others. So that might be the last thing you think to do when you're freaking out, when you're stressed, you're overwhelmed. You're probably not like, where can I volunteer? Who can I help today? No, that's not your thought pattern. Your thought pattern is like survival mode, right? Like I'm just hanging on for dear life myself. But if you can find a way to help someone else, it might be showing up with a meal. It might be sending some type of help or support after school for your friends. It might be for you. It might just be opening the door for someone behind you. But when you help others, you take the focus off yourself. When you help others in their problems, when you lend a helping hand or you show up or even just be a listening ear for someone, it totally takes the focus off of your problems and your stressors and all the things going wrong in your life, and it refocuses you on helping someone else. You'll be amazed at how it truly does feel better to give than to receive. Sometimes the best medicine for our problems is helping someone with theirs. It takes our eyes off of our own neediness and inadequacies and problems and helps us focus on something good and helpful for someone else. So your first idea is to breathe. Your second one is to read. Your third one is to help someone else. Your fourth one is to pray. Now, I don't know where you are in your faith, but I will tell you there is something so healing, something so peace-filled and peaceful about praying. I believe that God in heaven is not this distant God that is judging you with a pointing finger and he's too busy to hear your prayers. I believe he is intimate and personal, and he is able to hear your every need, and he cares about them. He created every star in the sky, and he created every hair on your head, and he knows every thought you have before you think it, and he wants to hear from you. He already knows what you're worried about, and he loves it when you come to him with those worries, when you come to him with your prayers, when you come to him with all of your fears, even if they seem silly to you, all your desires, even if they seem selfish to you, that you bring your full self, your whole heart to him and pray. It's one of the best ways to relieve stress in your life. Now, I want to give you another idea, and this is a little bit different, but similar to helping others. Another way for you to relieve stress is to give. So whether it's financially, giving a gift card, to give to others. It's like working with your hands. It's like showing up and helping others, but it takes the focus off of you. It takes the focus off of everything that we need, everything that's going wrong, and allows you to show up and bless someone else with your giving. So whether it's financially, whether it's at your church, whether it's a donation, whether it's a gift card, I don't know what that looks like. Maybe it's just a big tip when you go to a restaurant this week. But when you give others, it really does give you a sense of peace and relief. But I've got more ideas for you. Another thing that you can do, and we've got two more here. Another thing that you can do, this is really, really fun. Play. I know it seems silly. Like, again, probably the last thing on your mind when you're feeling stressed is like, hey, let's go play on the playground with my kids, or let's wrestle or come up with a scavenger hunt. But y'all, when you play, it brings laughter, it brings lightness, it brings fun to your life when you need it the most. It's amazing how laughter can just break the tension. It's amazing how playing and being silly and having a dance party in your kitchen, or tickling and chasing your kids, or playing hide and seek, or just being crazy in your house, in your home, so simple and for free. It's amazing how those things can relieve your stress. Again, it takes your focus off of the bigness, the largeness, the overwhelm of what's going wrong in your life, and allows you to just focus on what's right in front of you, like your tiny toddler laughing hysterically, which is the greatest sound in the world. Just play. When you're feeling stressed, force yourself to be silly and play, and watch how that calms your nerves and gives you a completely different spirit about you. And then the last idea I have for you to calm your nerves is to exercise. You can't be shocked by this. Y'all know I love to exercise. And as Reese Witherspoon says, exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people don't just kill their husband, y'all. Grab a weight. Do some curls. Run, jumping jacks, push-ups. I don't care. Just do something to move your body. I can't tell you how many times I have gone on a run when I am so mad and stressed about my workday, and I just pound it out on the pavement. And I come home and I'm like, yes, I feel better. I'm proud of the run. I have these endorphins that make me happier. I'm less stressed. I feel more in control. I feel more powerful. It really does help you relieve your stress when you move your body. Maybe you've seen the commercial for Peloton, the stationary bike that is insanely popular, has become like this whole movement. I remember sitting on the couch when I first saw that commercial, and you see this woman, and she's, of course, in like this New York high-rise apartment on her Peloton, but she's like pounding it out on the bike. And then you see her stressed in a meeting at work. And then she's pounding it out on the bike. And then you see her kids being crazy and they won't wear their clothes and they're throwing food. And then she's pounding it on the bike. And then she's dealing with some relationship thing in her family. And then she's pounding on the bike. And I remember at the very end, it just has the title, the brand Peloton. And my husband says, I don't get it. And I was like, oh, I do. Oh, I do. Like that feels like my life. When things are stressful, sometimes just exercising and sweating and moving your body and pushing yourself is just the thing you need to relieve your stress and calm your nerves. Those are 7 ideas. By no means is that an exhaustive list. There are other things you can do. You know what helps you. You know what helps you relieve your stress, calm your nerves, and take back control of your life, your emotions, and even your body's response in your life. So the main thing I want you to know is that you have more control than you think. Yes, the world is stressful. Yes, it's overwhelming. Yes, it's crazy, and there's a lot you can't control. But as I always remind you, you can control you.